Alright guys, what is going on? My name is Pipe Bomb City and welcome to my third video for tonight, guys. This is going to be it. If you want to know details about me finally coming back and starting to figure out my schedule on YouTube, be sure to check out my last video I just made about Kevin Owens' future as the Universal Champion, guys. But that's not about, well, this video here, it's not about that at all. We're talking about Ryback now, and I really haven't talked about Ryback at all, pretty much in any of my videos or on Instagram or in general, But he recently created a podcast called Conversation with the Big Guy. He has a co-host named Pat Buck, who I have no idea who he is. I'm pretty sure a majority of any wrestling fans know who he is. They literally confronted that themselves. But pretty much those two are going to be hosting that show. And from the first episode, I'm going to be listening to it a lot. I already watched Steve Austin's show Unleashed. I already watched Talk is Jericho. I watched a shit ton of shows and podcasts in the wrestling world, but this is going to be a new one I'm getting into, guys. So if you want to watch that, it is on SoundCloud right now. Again, it is Conversation with the Big Guy. The first episode is about 47 minutes long. So pretty much the right one. So check that out if you want all the details, guys. If you just want the sound up version, here it is. So instead of watching 47-minute version, here's me in less than 10 minutes. I found this very interesting. How should I say? This was not as groundbreaking as CM Punk's Coca Cabana was in 2014. This is something completely different, all right? And it is not just a ripoff of Punk. He talked about a lot of things. He talked about his Intercontinental title reign, being misbooked and promised of being the biggest heel in the company, being lied to. He talked about CM Punk. And he turned down a $1.5 million contract. All right, I'm going to be getting into all of that. I watched it earlier this morning. I can't really remember in which order it came into, order of events he talked about. But the biggest thing was that he was being lied to. He was being promised by Vince, oh, you'll get this, and oh, you'll get that. And none of it ever happened. He did mention, though, a lot of times that he was extremely upset with this, but he's happy that he went to WWE, even though there were a lot of ups and a lot of downs. He's happy that he went there. It was a great learning experience. He just didn't see eye to eye with the company booking wise. He complained a lot about how he was misbooked, which is fine because he absolutely was. He complained about having to bury AJ Styles. That's what Vince told him to do, squash this twerped Styles at WrestleMania, and then he got moved to the kickoff show against Kalisto, and he was extremely pissed about that. And they sold the show every night and did put on great matches. This is what he's saying. He did put on some great matches with Kalisto, especially that one at the Payback kickoff. That was fantastic. I loved that. Probably one of my favorite Ryback matches ever, honestly, But he was just so upset. Walked up to Mark Carrano, and he's just, get me off this fucking show. I'm just done. He didn't even talk to Vince or anything, and he just left. He actually, I believe he did re-sign, or was going to re-sign a contract for $1.5 million, which is huge, ladies and gentlemen. That's fucking, Jesus Christ, that's huge. And he left it. He was just so unhappy about being misbooked. They gave him the Intercontinental title just so that he could re-sign. And then he just saw through the bullshit. He got injured, which was just awful. He got staph infections, broken noses, something fucked up his ears. Oh my God, broken ankles. And it was just, he had tons of injuries. He was being incredibly misbooked. Had enough of the stress of the people backstage and the audience shitting on him. And he just had enough. And he took his bags and he left. All right. Vince promised him a lot of things, he'd be the WWE champion. He would main event WrestleMania one day. If he followed every order he gave him, Ryback did that. And he was incredibly upset that it got him nowhere. So he was talking about that a lot. But he did say a lot. He isn't mad at WWE. He said that a lot, which I kind of respect because he didn't come on there. And I love CM Punk to death. He's the reason I got into professional wrestling. He is my favorite wrestler of all time. But he did shit on WWE. And yes, it's all true what he said. So he had the reasons to back it up. But if his goal was to not, he fucking failed. But again, I love him. I'm happy he got the truth out about that company, which is just fine. You know, I'm not hating on that. But Ryback did it in a way where he kept on mentioning, like, oh, God, no, they're not bad. They're good people. We just didn't see eye to eye. All right. Again, which is very different from Punk's, because again, and then again, you know, Punk had a lot more problems than Ryback did. All right. A lot more stress, a lot more problems. Just a lot of shit. So I can understand where Punk was coming from. But Ryback, I did like how he did that. You know, he did talk about Punk for a little bit. He said, despite what anybody else thinks, I do respect Punk. And I thought that was really interesting, because I think a few months ago, or about a year ago, maybe a little more than that, he was complaining because he's like, no, Punk lied. I didn't say all that shit and blah, 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 you know. So I found it interesting how he said, oh, no, I can completely respect Punk and his decisions. And I thought that was interesting, you know. But again, what I'm trying to summarize is that pretty much he's just been lied to, shit on. He had enough, so he left. All right. And that's pretty much the podcast. If you guys want to get into some huge details about it, I was just trying to do my best to sum it up for you guys extremely quick. I would prefer if you guys went and watched the podcast, get him some views. I think he'd appreciate it. You know, of course, I love the views, but this was just a quick version, and I'm skipping out on a lot of juicy details. So if you guys want to go watch the real thing, it's on SoundCloud. It is Conversation with the Big Guy, episode 1. It is about 47 minutes long. Taking a nap, listen to it while you sleep. In a car ride, listen to it while you drive. All right, anytime. All right, just not in school, kids. Gotta learn shit. Thank you so very much for watching, guys. This has been Pipe Bomb City. Check out my Instagram at Pipe Bomb City. Be sure to check my last video for details about my video schedule from now on until November. Just me returning in some things that have been happening to me lately, all right? Be sure to subscribe, like, and comment on this video. This has been Pipe Bomb City. Thank you so very much for watching, and I will see you all next time.